Good morning. So good to be back here with you today. I'm just beginning my caffeination. So, how are y'all today? It's good to be back with you. It was so powerful to read. Good morning. To read your feedback from yesterday's video. I know yesterday was, hi, Tracy. Good morning, Jennifer. Hi, Sarah. I know yesterday's transmission was a little fiery, and I want to thank you for rolling with that. Good morning. Hi, Sophia. Oh, there, as a channel, it's an interesting role for those of you who already know, because you are intuitive channels yourself. There are days where there's a message that just needs to come through, and and that message felt really, really important. And I want to thank you for receiving it and allowing it to support you in whatever way that it was able to support you. And I have such a deep prayer that we as earth angels, we as light workers, are no longer going to abuse ourselves with the abuse of this world. And because we're so sensitive, because we are so loving, very often we can confuse sympathy and empathy with the true act of being a compassionate witness. And we talk about that in the psychic development curriculum that I offer on my website at kaira.com. Good morning. Welcome, everyone, with your coffee and your tea. So good to see everyone. And there are days where it feels like just the presence of Kali is speaking through each of the key codes. I mean, the primordial energy of that, of Kali's consciousness, speaks through every single one of the key codes in the Sophia code. And what I love about how each of the key codes speak from that perspective of Kali is they each have their own beautiful, unique way that energy is coming through. And today, for our consecutive French translated YouTube live, which is happening in less than 2 hours, 11 a.m. Pacific, we are exploring the White Buffalo Woman chapter 12 of the Sophia Code, one of my favorite chapters. And, this is, when we connect with White Buffalo Woman, we're connecting with a lot of that unexpected energy that comes when you come into contact, true contact, with the full spectrum of divine feminine, divine Mother Christ consciousness. I think not everyone, and it's not certainly not intentional, but in spirituality, we often want to minimize, compartmentalize, make things safe, put parts of God consciousness into a box, which I like to say is trying to put a dragon in a shoebox. It just simply doesn't work. And whatever you call the source, whatever you call God, whatever you call divine mother, divine father, it's so much bigger than what our human understanding could ever grasp. And yet, as we practice connecting directly to the source, calling forward our circle of sovereign empowerment, allowing the divine genome within us to become activated with the initiations in the Sophia Code, practicing what it means to live through the perspective and the consciousness of your higher self every day. What happens is you start to somatically, that means through your body, which is a very divine feminine intuitive learning, divine feminine intuitive knowing system. And it's also a pathway of learning, but you start to identify through your actual body the realization of certain aspects of God consciousness, such as that the Kali resonance, and any other resonances that may not be spoken about directly in the Sophia Code, which we actually speak about Kali in the Sophia Code and Sekhmet briefly. But there are so many aspects of source consciousness that are, when we come into contact with the truth of our divinity, we're coming into contact with a consciousness that is seeking to radically transform our own perspective about ourselves and about why we're here in this world and about what's going on in this world. And so a true, authentic spiritual path is going to feel like lightning sometimes. It's going to feel like the storms of change, and it's going to feel like the winds of change and the healing rains. And it's going to feel sometimes like you're swimming in an ocean, or trying to swim up a river when the river wants you to flow downstream. What I'm pointing to is these primordial natural divine forces. They're not for us to control. These aspects of God consciousness, they are for us to come into harmony with and to be served by. So when I channeled the White Buffalo Woman chapter, which was one of the most vulnerable experiences of my life, other than channeling Mary Magdalene's chapter, I think those were the two most, each chapter was a pretty unique, pretty vulnerable experience overall. But yeah, it's the White Buffalo Woman chapter is the one that we're diving into today. And I'm excited about that. I'm thrilled about it. And in preparation for our class in less than 2 hours, good morning. So great to see everybody coming on. We're gonna read from a passage on page 288 in the Sophia Code. And this is one of my favorite passages, and it really perfectly lines up with the transmission from yesterday about how we need to reframe through the power of the compassionate witness, how we are viewing these world events that are unfolding right now. Again, the compassionate witness is the Christ consciousness that can take in the pain and the suffering of this world without losing or sacrificing yourself in the process. It's an understanding that every single person has chosen their path, and that every single person is sovereign and divine, and that there is an opportunity for evolution to happen in all of our choices and in all of our collective experiences, including the collective experience of war. Further, that as we grow in strength and radiance through this Christ consciousness, that we can choose to unplug from our unconscious addiction to growing through war consciousness, growing through the triggering of oppression or control, and choosing now to learn about love through divine love, to learn about how to grow through our own self-compassion, our own self-appreciation, our own self-honor. So very often people choose traumatic experiences as a way to jumpstart their growth. So with this, the example of war on the planet, humanity has used this addiction to war consciousness to jumpstart, ironically, a choice to become more compassionate, to become more healing focused, to become, to open its heart more, or to shut its heart down more. And it's a personal and collective choice. It's stimulated by what we are used to learning from. And after hundreds of years of trauma, thousands of years of trauma on this planet, humanity is unconsciously addicted to suffering for its development. Green Tara talks about this extensively in her chapter in the Sophia Code. And so when we meet White Buffalo Woman in the Sophia Code, we are meeting with an ascended master who is, she is an ascended master that is native to this planet. She's not a part of the evolution of other planets in the cosmos like many of the ascended masters are. She is extremely concerned with the future of this planet and the future of humanity's heart. And so it's it's really incredible that we walk with all of these key codes right up to key code 7 in the Sophia code, where we are presented with teachings that support us to really get over ourselves and get into not just our personal ascension journey, but the ascension journey and leading the ascension journey of humanity's collective awakening. When we touch into White Buffalo Woman, again, just like it's surprising to feel Kali Ma coming through Mary Magdalene or Kali Ma coming through Mother Mary, we get to experience this Sophia Christ consciousness pouring through White Buffalo Woman. This is how the divine feminine works. This is how divine feminine consciousness reveals to us, mirrors to us the multidimensional facets of our own consciousness that are awakening to the totality of who we are. We are all of these aspects, all of these key code divine attributes exist within us, and they all rise and fall within us as needed to be expressed. For example, I was reading a book about Lakshmi last night, and how Kali spontaneously arose out of her, this energy, this resonance of Kali to protect Vishnu, her divine consort, in this beautiful story that I was reading. But you would perhaps never think of Kali arising out of Lakshmi, who is this serene goddess of creativity, abundance, marriage, and superpower talents. It's just like, it's really important for us to understand the divine feminine is fluid, and every quality of the divine mother wants to be expressed through us. And that Christ consciousness, that Buddha consciousness, that highest resonance of holiness that sets the bar for all the other expressions of our personality and the divine attributes that we are, that is what's pouring through White Buffalo Woman with these incredible earth-based teachings that she is returning to us through her eyes and her heart and her words in the Sophia Code. And I would love for us to read page 288 out loud together, because this really speaks to, again, what we've been choosing to view through Christ consciousness, through that higher sovereign resonance, that no one is a victim here. We are all choosing to participate in a profound collective evolutionary arc of a transformation as a species and on this planet. And so let's read this passage together on page 288. This is the words of White Buffalo Woman as given to us in the Sophia Code. And you're probably going to feel this holy fire of that Sophia Christ consciousness, that Kali Ma energy coming through White Buffalo Woman in her own unique signature key code. And she begins, if we begin at the first chapter, the first paragraph at the top of page 288, White Buffalo Woman shares, with personal integrity comes personal peace. I mean, wow. With personal integrity comes personal peace. We could unpack that statement for a while. Next sentence, when you live in peace with yourself, it becomes possible to make your contribution to the divine plan for Mother Earth's ascension. My people call this contribution mending the sacred hoop of all life. Mentoring with me eventually aligns every aspect of your life to live in total integrity with the divine plan of your higher self, to joyfully participate in humanity's reconciliation with the earth. Like mic drop after mic drop in this paragraph, but let's keep going. White Buffalo Woman continues to say, I bring peace to the hearts of those who carry a great prayer within them for humanity and Mother Earth's ascension. There are so many imbalances to reconcile between humanity and the earth that your personal prayer and mission may feel overwhelming and heavy within your heart. Take courage. Ooh, I am feeling the presence of White Buffalo Woman so strong in this moment. Oh my God. I am just praying that this transmission goes out to anyone and everyone that needs to feel her holy presence, blessing your body, heart, and mind here and right now. Let's keep going. Take courage, White Buffalo Woman shares with us. Take courage, for I have come to radiate my Sophia Christ light before you and make the way ahead easier for fulfilling the prophecies of your own heart's prayer. As you pray with me, I open the sky of unlimited potential within you and bless your prayers with the lightning of my illumination. I come to activate the master within you that is ready to align with and for all of Sophia's creations, joining you in this same prayer for global peace. My presence overlights your awareness to accept and receive that all of creation is working together to orchestrate the answers to your prayers. It is in your willingness to participate in this great prayer with me that we will call forth the healing rains, a lightning reconciliation of the divine feminine grace and power ordained to usher in a new paradigm of right relations with all that is. So here we have another version of the truth bombs that we were receiving from the Sophia Dragons yesterday. With personal integrity comes personal peace. When you live in peace with yourself, it becomes possible to make your contribution to the divine plan for Mother Earth's ascension. White Buffalo was saying, we all have a contribution to make. Every single one of us. What is personal integrity? Is it about someone doing something right or wrong versus what you're doing right or wrong? No, personal integrity is about knowing your heart and being willing to go within and love every part of your heart, every part of yourself so much that every part of you starts to come online and live in alignment with your divine purpose, where you make the commitment to consistently choose to live through the truth, the power, and the light of your higher self to the best of your ability every day without apology for who you are. And to feel how when you come into peace with yourself, you're no longer fighting your own heart, which means you are no longer fighting the divine guidance, the next steps that you are receiving to step into your divine purpose, to become a more active contributor to this divine plan for the future of Mother Earth, the future of our collective ascension. Is that challenging at times? Absolutely. Are there weeks and even months where the inner work that is required, the inner healing, the depths of examining our hearts and our minds and all the places that we have been at war within ourselves? Does that take effort and willingness and courage? You bet it does. I pray my way through every single day. But White Buffalo Woman became my partner in that prayer. She became a co-creative key code mentor for me, that prayer that I'm making every day is being answered with all of the allies, the earth, the trees, the elements, the water, the fire, the air. This earth is our freaking ally. She is the most amazing ally that we can co-create with. If you tune in with your body in meditation and prayer to feel the heart of Mother Earth, to feel her regenerative energy rising up through your legs, through your root chakra, filling your body, heart, and mind with the clarity of what it means to really feel what it feels like to walk in integrity with your own heart and to walk in integrity with this earth. White Buffalo Woman is sharing this is the solution. That is the ultimate healing. That begins to heal that sacred hoop of life first within yourself. And then that regenerative healing communion that you are experiencing with your own heart, your own higher self, with this beautiful planet that we've been given to steward and care for. That regenerative communion begins to pour out into your heart and guide you like a magnetic force to all of the people, places, and opportunities where your divine purpose is going to reveal itself one loving step at a time through your willingness to say yes. What's the mantra that we say, Sophia Circle leaders? Yes. Thank you. I accept. I receive. So let us just take a moment to, really just allow this energy of white buffalo woman to permeate your heart. I welcome you to breathe in her holy light, to allow this message to land wherever it needs to land within you. Maybe there's a part of your body that's receiving this quantum healing transmission from White Buffalo Woman, the assurance that she is our co-creative partner. She is this an archangel, ascended master, Christed being that is a part of guiding us as a collective in our own spiritual leadership for this planet's future. And to really take in that message that she's saying, I bring peace to the hearts of those who carry a great prayer within them for humanity and Mother Earth's ascension. There isn't a person on this live feed or watching the replay that doesn't have a prayer in your heart for humanity and the earth. This means that in this moment, you can say yes to White Buffalo Woman mentoring you in this journey that you have stepped upon as a living angel on earth, as a light worker, as the embodiment of your higher self. And to receive that she's going to deeply activate us today in today's YouTube Live at 11 a.m. Pacific, that French consecutive YouTube Live, where we're going to spend 90 minutes in her presence and with her teachings. And just to, let's take 3 deep breaths together just to seal up this moment of activation, this moment of excitement, this moment of active peace, proactive peace, creating that resonance of sovereign, proactive peace for our day. Breathing in the peace of your higher self. Exhaling any anxiety, fear, or concerns. Breathing in the holy fire of that Kali Ma resonance that does exist within you, that is purifying your body, heart, and mind to live in the peace and power and integrity of your higher self's mission this lifetime. Breathing into the message that your heart has come to share with those who are ready to receive it in this lifetime. Exhaling out any resistances to your own radiant beauty, to the presence of that divine one within you. That is the totality of the Divine Mother. That is the totality of Divine Father. That is Source, Sophia Christ consciousness, radiating through your eyes, your hands, your smile, your intentions. Today is a miracle, and you are a miracle in motion. Your very human existence is a miracle in motion that is being experienced on one of the most beautiful planets in the cosmos, spinning through the multiverse. Are you kidding me? Everything is already an amazing miracle in orbit, in motion. Everything else is the prayer being answered, and our willingness to allow that prayer to be answered, to allow our own hearts, bodies, and minds to come into alignment with those divine forces of beneficial and magnetic goodness that are calling us forward today. So I want to thank you for taking this moment to focus upon peace, focus upon your empowerment, centering in the truth of your higher self, connecting with this White Buffalo Woman passage on page 288 of the Sophia Code. Yesterday in my fiery passion, I forgot to mention that we are stepping into a new intention for the month of March. Every month this year, we're going to have a new intention that we're focusing on. And this is going to be guiding our consciousness in where we're going with each Sovereign Soul event that we're going to be producing this year for the Sophia Code movement. Our next stop is Austin, which is focusing on sovereign spiritual leadership. And for this month, we're focusing on creativity and communication, 2 of my favorite topics. I could talk endlessly about creativity, and I could talk forever about communication. And more importantly, I could have a dialogue about both of these topics with you endlessly all month long. So good thing we're going to be here live Monday through Friday. here on YouTube Live at Kyra Official. I'm really thrilled to be talking about two of my favorite topics, creativity and communication. And we curated a jewelry collection to support these two topics as well. And the White Buffalo Woman pendant is a part of that creativity and communication collection. So if you want to check that out on my website, feel free to do that at kyra.com. Each of these pieces are encoded with channel designs directly from the Ascended Masters. So creativity and communication, feel free to set your intention for March, for the journey we're about to go on. I guess I was embodying that message yesterday, the creative fire of what wanted to be communicated yesterday. Thank you so much for being here live. We'll see you again real soon in just 90 minutes for our next YouTube Live with our consecutive French translation with Anne-Laure Jex and our beautiful French readership community. I love you all so much. Have a blessed and wonderful day or evening wherever you are in the world. Namaste, my friends. I love you.